is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video here with my buddy Sam Clark. He makes videos, go check him out. But today we are here in Dallas at TCH. Got an important video on the line. He wants to play golf later this week at Topgolf. I've never been. So as two degenerates would do, we are gambling tonight on the tables. Whoever does the worst, paying for Topgolf. Any predictions, Sam?
It makes a lot of sense, and my prediction is that I'm going to win, and I'm going to make a video about it on my channel as well, and you'll be able to see both perspectives.
Did
you know,
anyone
a
even
real professional,
that? No one understands.
a real professional, and like a YouTube guy. You know?
I couldn't understand through that accent, but
Levels.
basically what he said is I'm going to win, and you guys are going to find that out right now. Let's get into the hands. Make sure you subscribe. Let's go. First hand of the night, we look down at Ace King of Hearts from the button. I'm going to stop you real quick. Look at these updated graphics. My editor, Lucas, literally spent all day today improving the graphics, the pictures. He even made a whole new deck of cards. If you guys appreciate this new look and us constantly trying to make the vlogs better and better, drop a comment down below letting Lucas know how much you like the new edit. Back into it, Sam opens up the action from +1 to $15, and the action's on me on the button. I decide obviously to come in for a 3-bet up to the tune of $75. When the action's back over to Sam, he doesn't want to battle with me just yet. He mucks his cards, and although it's a small one, it's nice to get the session rolling in the right direction. I'm up 15, he's down 15. Seems like a W to me. All right, moving right along, I look down in the low jack at Ace King offsuit, and I open it up to $15. The villain in the hijack who does not have a profile picture because I can't just go around snapping pictures of everyone in the casino, so he'll be a ghost for now. He puts in the call and we are off to a flop which comes Queen 8-6 rainbow. On this queen high board, I decide to go for a bet. I don't have a heart in my hand, so I can't really back into any draws. I want to just take down the pot now versus a hand like 7s, 5s, maybe a hand that has some equity. Let's get them to fold. I bet a third the size of the pot like I would with my entire range. The villain does in fact put in the call, but no worries for us when the ace of clubs peels off on the turn. Probably one of the best cards in the deck for us to see. And I'm not going to slow down now. I bet out for $35 into the $88 pot. Pretty quick fold from the opponent, and just like that, we are taking down the second hand of the night. Moving us right along to, you guessed it, the exact same hand, Ace King offsuit once again. This time I'm in under the gun, and I open it up to $15. Gonna get called in two spots here. The button and the big blind both want to come to a flop, and it comes ace high, ace 3-3 with 2 spades. When the villain in the big blind checks it over to me, I'm out of position to the button, so I decide to start with a check. Now, for those of you who are new to the vlog, you're probably wondering, why am I checking? I made top pair. Well, when you're out of position to another player, you have to play a little bit cautiously. Additionally, there's not many draws on board except for the spade draw. But if you look at my hand, I do in fact have the king of spades. So I block a lot of those holdings like king, queen of spades, king, jack, king, 10 of spades, etc. So yeah, I'm going to start with a check for deception and also to ensure that the button doesn't bet, the big blind doesn't raise, and that pretty much means that one of them has a 3. When I check, the button checks behind, bringing in the 10 of hearts on the turn. Hopefully one of these players improved, and the big blind decides to bet out for $20 into me. Could be going for a raise here, and I think that's actually the best play in the long run. I actually decide just to call in this spot. But talking about this hand with some friends, I think that a raise is better. There's a spade draw out there. There's some gutters like deuce 4, deuce 5. And yeah, if the opponent has some sort of 10x hand, he's probably not going to fold. So I think I like raising this up to like 60 to 70 bucks. Either way though, when I put in the call, the button gets out of the way, bringing us off to the river, which comes the 5 of hearts. Hopefully now the opponent does not have a hand like deuce 4. But he checks it over to me, and that's the green light for me to go for one more street of value. I bet out small here, trying to get called by any worse ace or a 10. 20 bucks is the price. He puts in the call, and just like that, we are taking down that $126 pot. Let's go. All right, this is one of the hands of the night. The $5 straddle is on, and I look down at the 10s and raise it up to $20 from the button. A good friend, Sam Clark, is on our left, and he 3-bets us up to 80 bucks from the big blind. Pretty standard so far, so when the action folds back around to me, he's going to have a pretty wide big blind 3-betting range. I decided to put in the call here. I probably also could be raising at a small percentage, but that's neither here nor there. When I put in the call, we are going heads up in position to a flop, which sounds pretty great for me, except it comes jack 9-7 with 2 diamonds. Interesting board. I have a gutter to the straight. There is an overcard out there, and he could have some of the sets like 9s or 7s. When he bets out for $70, it's a little bit strange. I expect him to do a lot of checking on this board, but at the same time, I have a gutter, I have a heart, and a diamond in my hand. I think that's a great candidate to put in the call. That's what I decided to do, and we are off to the turn, which pairs the 9. It comes the 9 of hearts. Definitely a card that I think he should be slowing down on a ton. Makes it a lot less likely he does have pocket 9s, but I still could have like 9-10 suited, 9-8 suited. So when he checks it over to me, I think it's important to put more money in the middle, get him to fold a lot of those hands like king-queen, ace-king, maybe a hand that has a 7 in it, or maybe a jack. If I bet here and jam the river, he might just fold it. So for that reason, I decide to bet out. I bet small, trying to make it look like value. I go for the tune of $130. Into the $305 pot. It's not too large of a bet, so it should scream strength. So when he jams all in for $330, that's not great news. But I didn't just bet the turn here to fold for an additional $200. Getting a great pot odds here to draw to the gutter, or a 10 giving me a boat. I put in the call, and hopefully he's on a heart or diamond flush draw. When the queen of spades peels off on the river, not a great card because a lot of his draws now get there. I turn over my 10s and he waits a little bit before turning over the king-jack offsuit. So this is going to be a tough hole to climb out of, $965 going his way, and probably the worst situation where I'm losing $400 and he's gaining it. Oh well. I know there's a bunch of you who are huge golf fans, and with the Masters currently happening, I have to give a shout out to an awesome company that makes Texas Hold'em themed golf gloves. They're made from 100% premium Cabretta leather, are only $22 with free shipping. I'm not getting paid a cent to promote these. The owner is my lifelong best friend Randall, who just got engaged and started this awesome company, so I had to get a few pairs for myself. If you're a big golfer or know someone who is, do me a solid and check out my buddy's company, make his day, and tell him Wolfgang sent you. Moving right along to one of my favorite hands, ace-queen offsuit, and I raise it up to $15. The cutoff and the small blind both put in the call. So yeah, you can see some pretty weak plays so far here at Texas Card House. These opponents really should just be 3-betting or folding, but calling out of the small blind, definitely not an optimal play, but we'll take it. We're going monkey in the middle between two opponents to a flop, which comes queen high, queen 6 deuce with 2 clubs, and the small blind just jams all into both of us. I mean, why wouldn't he here? Just has an $84 stack, wants to jam it all in. Action's on me and I have top. Do I just put in the call, trying to bring in the villain from the cutoff? Do I raise it? Do I jam all in for $380? I mean, the world is our oyster here. I decide just to put in the call, and the other opponent gets out of the way. And that means we are heads up with the small blind, which I assume I'm ahead of unless he has 6s or deuces. Turn comes the king of hearts, followed by the 10 of hearts. He turns over queen, jack offsuit, so an ambitious play from him there does not get rewarded. We are taking down that $215 pot. I definitely needed that one if I'm making any effort to catch up to Sam. Speaking of catching up to Sam, this was going to help. Pocket aces in a bomb pot. I'm in the hijack. First board gives us an overpair, and the second board does as well. The villain in the low jack bets out for $15, and I decide just to put in the call. I want to just call here, trying to bring some other players in and see if we can improve on a lot of turn cards, a lot of cards that can help us. Speaking of which, the top board gives us the flush draw plus the gutter to Broadway, and the bottom board gives us top set. Let's go. The villain in the low jack checks it over to me, so I decide to start putting more money in the middle to the tune of $50. $50 is the price of poker. Does the low jack want to continue? Nope. But we'll take that. More money coming my way. No complaints over here. All right, king queen offsuit from the cutoff, and I raise it up to $15. The button puts in the call, and the middle position limper puts in the call as well. That's leading us off to a flop, which comes ace, ace, 10 with 2 clubs. A gutter to Broadway, and middle position checks it over to me. I'm out of position to the button. Pretty standard check incoming from me, and the button decides to bet out here for $20 into the field. Does he have a flush draw? Does he have an ace? Does he have a 10? You can never really put anyone on any sort of hand in 1-2 in Texas. He puts out for 20, middle position calls, and I decide to float and come along here with my backdoor club draw, as well as the gutter to Broadway. Did I mention that I have a gutter to Broadway? Bang! The turn comes the jack of diamonds. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. Middle position checks it over to me, and I think I make a mistake here by checking. Want to pile more money in against all those flush draws and aces. I think I was checking here because I assume the button has a lot of aces when he bets the flop, so he's going to bet, middle position calls, and then I can just raise and get more money in. But unfortunately though, it looks like the button does not have an ace when he checks behind. bringing in an 8 of spades on the river. But it's not that bad of a situation when middle position now decides to bet out for $25 into the field. Interesting. Okay, obviously we're raising. I want to go large and target a lot of hands. 10 jack, ace king, ace queen, who knows? I make it $125 and they both fold. Yippee. $262 coming my way. All right, we're into the 2-5 game for $1,500, looking to win back some of those losses from 1-2 and hopefully catch up to Sam. I looked on a pocket aces. What a good seat I picked here from the hijack, and I raise it up to $50 over a $10 limper. That limper decides to put in the call. That means we are heads up to the flop with the best hand ever created. And there's not too many boards we will not like with pocket aces, and Jack 3 deuce with 2 diamonds is definitely a board that we like. When the opponent checks it over to me, I think it's important to go for value, and I'd go for a $50 c-bet, 2 green chips, and he snap calls me. That's usually indicative of a draw, maybe has the diamond flush draw. So when the turn card now comes the ace of hearts, bang, we have top set. The opponent leads out into me for $75. I'm always honest about when I think I played bad, and this is definitely a mistake here. I just smooth call. I was hypnotized by the fact that I have top set and I didn't want the opponent to fold. I thought I was going to string him along with a call here. But when he snap called me on the flop and bets out small here on the turn, it pretty much means he has a flush draw, maybe a weak jack. So I want to raise here and try to get the money in. That way I don't just put in the call. He misses his draw and checks the river. Yeah, putting in the call here, kind of a small mistake, but the river comes to 10 of spades. Now the opponent slows down and checks. This is what I feared, and this is why we need to raise the turn and get a little bit more value. When he checks it over to me, I'm going to bet small here for $200 into the $400 pot, and he snap folds. So yeah, definitely could have made a little bit more money raising the turn, but yeah, scooping in a $567 pot to end the night is definitely much needed, and let's see how we ended up. All right, you guys, a little post-session update here, final tally. I ended up losing in both sessions, kind of the story of my last 2 weeks in Dallas, but got out for a loss of 561, so hopefully Sam lost more than that.
I was in for 500, out for 1,300 between the two mini sessions.
So you lost 800?
No.
He won 800. All right, now I'm paying for Topgolf. Cue that footage. And round 2 coming soon. We got to bet for something more next time. Like
I'm down.
It's steak dinner. Steak dinner.
All right.
Let's go.
Reminds me of my days as a wee lad. Up in the pastures with the farms.
Woo!
4!
Bro, I didn't even pick. Oh, it did pick it up. Look at that. Look at that curvature.
No!
Look at it.
Oh, I hit it.
Hard, man. We gotta
You're too strong.
make targets farther for people
I know.
like us. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.